Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Osman. In this week's episode, trails enthusiasts continue to advance the St. Johns River to sea loop routes, and our daily summer rains bring both dangerous lightning and an abundance of mosquito breeding grounds. Later on in the program, Joanne Magley sits down with Mary Whiting from the Volusia County Library system. Those segments and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. I hope you stay tuned. We love trails, short trails, long trails, trails that wind through forests, and trails that take you through vibrant cities. Volusia County has it all. The Spring to Spring Trail in West Volusia, the Rail Trail in South Volusia, and multiple trail segments in East Volusia. These trails are part of a larger system, the St. Johns River to Sea Loop, which is a work in progress and one day will provide a 260-mile loop through 5 counties in East Central Florida. Trail planners recently met at DeBerry Hall Historic Site to share their accomplishments and plans for the St. Johns River to Sea Loop. The enthusiastic group champions regional multi-use trails that will benefit locals and attract visitors from near and far.
The goal of creating a logo is to start the branding of the St. Johns River to Sea Loop. So each county would have to embrace the logo. So we really are trying to touch base with all the owners to get their feedback. What that means is that logo would be on the trail signage, that logo would be on websites. Any of the information that showcases the St. Johns River to Sea Loop, that logo would be present on. That's the goal, and that's the first starting point of branding the St. Johns River to Sea Loop and then starting that marketing campaign.
Did you know Volusia County is a leader in the state trails movement? Last year, Tim Bailey spoke to state legislators and was instrumental in getting the St. Johns River to Sea Loop designated as a top priority for Sun Trail funding. As a result, the city of Edgewater was able to break ground on a 1.2-mile trail that crosses through the city. As Bailey explains, Volusia County is working on 2 more trail segments, one in Glenwood and another that stretches from Osteen to Edgewater.
One section is on the west side, which goes from Lemon to King. It's in the Glenwood area, and that section is unique because we had to work with the local residents to cooperate with how they wanted that trail aligned through the community where it wouldn't displace the culture and the feel or the experience of their local community. The other trail that's under construction currently right now is on the east side, and that's approximately a little over 20 miles of trail section. It's a design build contract. It starts just south of 442 where the existing trail ends. It continues down to the Brevard-Volusia County line, and we anticipate that trail section to be completed in August, September of 2018.
The Grand Avenue Trail is 1.6 miles long and will be completed later this year. Next up, the county will begin work to complete a 6-mile spring-to-spring gap through DeBerry. For more information about Volusia County's growing trail system, you can visit volusia.org/trails.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Would you sign up to eat dinner with a table full of strangers? It may sound like the opening of an off-Broadway play, but diners in Volusia County are experiencing this unique dining experience firsthand through an innovative concept called Idea Dinners. Kate Sark's here to tell us more in this week's Business Beat.
Idea Dinners is a lot like what it sounds. Lacey McLaughlin, founder of the company, describes Idea Dinners as a social enterprise that pairs thought leaders and innovators for dinner parties and curated events where they can form connections and build community. The concept, which took form in 2016 when McLaughlin lived in Mississippi, grew from weekly dinners she had with friends where they brought ideas to present each week for discussion. When she moved to Daytona Beach as a newspaper reporter, she realized she wanted to create a forum to bring interesting people together.
I think it's a mindset thing, and the more positive things we see, the more amazing people that we meet, and we see them, find out about their stories. Even if we're a small community, we become more connected. And I believe that collectively, there's a lot of power in a smaller group of connected, positive, innovative individuals than there are with a huge population of disconnected people who aren't connecting.
So what exactly does a dinner look like? McLaughlin says it's hard to say exactly, as each one is different. Each dinner features a local chef, or as McLaughlin calls them, foodpreneurs. Local florists and decorators assist with decor, and invitations are designed by local artists. Guests are handpicked based on their application, which includes information on their professional life, interests, and goals. This allows each dinner to pair like-minded individuals to foster conversation and expand networks, all while highlighting local talent. After each dinner, a resource guide is sent out that includes attendees' contact information, as well as talking points and resources mentioned throughout the evening. McLaughlin says the most rewarding part of each dinner is listening to the conversations and seeing the connections made between diners.
Someone told me, I left a dinner and on the drive home, I just saw my community in a different way. And I just was so inspired by the people and the talent that we have here. And that just really stands out to me because that's exactly, why I'm doing this. And I want people to be able to see the talent and the wonderful people that we have in this community just as I see it.
The growing success of Idea Dinners has encouraged McLaughlin to expand her concept. In addition to the traditional intimate dinners, she's beginning to host larger events, including an entrepreneur dinner and one-year anniversary dinner.
I'm really excited to be part of this community because we would not exist without all of the people in this community who take part in our dinners. The dinner is not necessarily a reflection of what I do, but it's a reflection of the chefs and the florists and just all the amazing people in this community. So, I always want to pay it forward. And, I think the more people who take that step to go to a dinner party where they might not know who's on the guest list, to put themselves in that position, it can be very rewarding. And so I hope that people will also not be scared to try something that's a little different.
If you're interested in attending an Idea Dinner, submit an application at ideadinners.com. There, you can also contact McLaughlin if you're interested in taking part as a featured business. For the Business Beat, I'm Kate Sark.
Summer's here, and that means regular thunderstorms. It's also a good time to brush up on lightning safety. Each year in the United States, some 400 people are struck by lightning and about 50 people are killed. What's more, June, July, and August are the peak months for lightning activity and lightning-related deaths. Did you know lightning can strike 10 miles out from a storm? Jim Judge, Director of Emergency Management, has some safety tips he'd like to share with us.
Obviously, when you hear rumble, you see a storm coming, don't wait even for the rumble. When you see a storm coming, go ahead and take shelter, get out of the area. And oftentimes what will happen is that people will often look to what other people are doing. Are people just going to stay on the beach? Are they going to stay in the pool? Or are they going to seek shelter? And then they'll judge that on whether they take protective actions or not. So don't be one of the ones to wait for somebody else to do something. When you see a storm coming, you hear that rumble, take shelter. A good sturdy building. You know, a tent, a patio is just not the safest place to go. You want to get inside a good solid structure. Also, what works well is getting in your vehicle. A good solid roof. You know, a convertible, a Jeep with a canvas top isn't going to work.
If you're stuck outside with no safe shelter anywhere, move away from bodies of water and elevated areas. Never lie flat on the ground and never shelter under an isolated tree. You're much safer indoors, but there are still dangers. Don't bathe, shower, or wash dishes during a thunderstorm because lightning can travel through a building's plumbing. You should also avoid electronic equipment and corded phones. Also, stay away from windows, doors, porches, and concrete. Remember this, when the thunder roars, move indoors. We hope you'll have a fun and safe summer. With the summer comes a lot of fun activities outdoors, but it also means mosquitoes. There are some tips and steps that you can take to help minimize this pesky nuisance. Mosquitoes don't just hurt when they bite, they can also spread diseases from Zika to dengue to the West Nile virus. Volusia County Mosquito Control has a robust program of heightened mosquito surveillance and control efforts that works year-round to help keep mosquitoes at bay.
Those two mosquitoes are only produced in containers. They're not produced in the swamps, they're not produced on the salt marsh, only in the containers that you would find in your backyard, your front yard, your side yard. So we are out and about, and part of our program does involve inspections of residences. So when we get a call for a service request, the inspector will go to the home, the residence, and will perform an inspection looking for those containers that are producing mosquitoes.
To keep the mosquito population from growing, we need everyone's help.
Anything from a small bottle cap that holds water on up through that wheelbarrow that's upright and holding water to a tire leaning against the shed, a 55-gallon rain barrel that's collecting water. All of these are potential production sites for those two mosquitoes.
It's important we all go beyond the traditional spring cleaning of attics, closets, and garages. Look around the yard and toss or recycle any unnecessary containers. For those you keep, tip or flush them at least once a week. You can visit volusia.org/mosquito to check out a link in the top left corner that will show you how to find mosquito larvae and pupae in your outdoor containers. Fewer containers equal fewer mosquitoes, and that's good news for all of us.
The Spill the Water Heroes, stopping mosquitoes by spilling the water where mosquitoes are made.
It stopped raining. Kids, do I see some of your toys out in the yard?
Hero suits activate. Invisibility bug spray applied. A Spill the Water hero knows. To save summer, got ya! You gotta spill the water. Heroes at home, can you find the things around your house that can hold water? Keep your summer free from mosquitoes.
Do you love your heart? A new report from the Florida Department of Health may have you wanting to take better care of it. Dr. Holly Smith explains in this week's Community Health Matters.
Heart disease is on the rise in Volusia County. In fact, the death rate from heart disease has increased 8% since 2011. And that's according to a new report published by the Florida Department of Health in Volusia County. Now, the older you get, the more likely you are to experience heart disease or stroke or other conditions that affect people as they age. The data in this report supports that.
Volusia County does have a substantial older population, and then when we look at the geographic distribution of the rates of heart disease, we can see in the areas that have more older adults, there are higher rates of heart disease deaths.
You can see those areas on this graphic. The darker brown areas on this map of Volusia County show the areas with the highest death rate from heart disease. If you divide the county into 4 quadrants, the southeast quadrant, that's the bottom right, had the highest death rates from heart disease. This area also has an older population. In addition to death rates, data analysts looked at emergency department visits and hospitalizations related to heart disease. You might expect to see the same distribution, but it's a little different. In fact, the northwestern quadrant of the county has more hospitalizations and emergency department visits than the other 3 quadrants. Why? Well, public health officials don't have the answer in this report. There likely are many factors at play. Nonetheless, reports like these do help health officials to make changes to decrease those heart disease rates.
Here at the health department, we're promoting and we're protecting and trying to improve the health of all Floridians, but specifically here in Volusia County. So a huge part of that is being able to track the progress, being able to look at, to set baseline numbers and data, and being able to say this is where we are with a certain health outcome, like heart disease, and then to be able to look at it over time.
Officials also want to determine which populations have higher incidence so that public health agencies and their partners can target their efforts right where they're needed. Now, the most important message is this. No matter where you live in Volusia County or even how old you are, heart disease can touch you. And the good news? Heart disease is largely preventable. Each of us can take steps to keep ourselves healthy at home and heart disease free. Things like eating a healthy diet, exercising regularly, and saying no to tobacco products. If you'd like to view the full report on heart disease rates right here in Volusia County, you can find it online. The address is volusiahealth.com/planning. That's volusiahealth.com/planning. For the Florida Department of Health right here in Volusia County, I'm Dr. Holly Smith.
Summer breaks can erode a year's worth of reading aptitude, but the Volusia County Libraries are here to help. Let's go now to Community Information Director Joanne Magley and her guest, Mary Whiting, Regional Librarian from the county's Deltona branch.
Thanks, Amber. Well, school is out, and that means lots of free time for the kids. But children and teens can participate in a number of fun programs at the Volusia County Public Libraries this summer. So our guest in the studio today is Mary Whiting, a librarian with the Deltona Regional Library. Hi, Mary.
Hi.
Thanks for being here. So our library system has 13 public libraries. Hundreds of programs are planned this summer. So tell us about what you do have planned for the kids.
Well, we have several large programs that run on a general theme. Every branch offers a reading program where, as long as children consistently read through the summer, children and teens, they can earn incentives along the way. We also have new this summer, Helping Hands program. We thought it's a great opportunity to take a moment and give back to our community. So we invite them in, children and their families, to create crafts for 3 key charities. We're creating pet toys for Animal Rescue, blankets for Project Linus, and care packages for our local homeless shelters. And we also are proud to say that we're participating in the Summer Break Spot this summer, even more of our libraries, where children 18 and under can come in and get a free meal, breakfast and lunch. Our John H. Dickerson Library, DeLand Library, and Orange City Library are all providing breakfast and lunch, and Lake Helen Library is providing lunch.
So this is basically the lunch part is because, you know, children who normally would get lunch during school, a lot of children, now that they're not in school, they might not have that opportunity to get every meal. So that's where the library comes in.
Yes, it's actually a program that's run by the Volusia Home Service, or Volusia, Home Services, Human Services Office, and we've kind of giving them an opportunity to come into our libraries and use our facilities to offer this very important service to the community.
And something like that, people just come in. You don't need to show any identification or anything. The children are just
Nope, it's served. As long as you're 18 and under, you come in and you get a free meal.
So the theme, the programs that you have going on, a few of them that you mentioned, the theme for the summer programs is making a better Making a Better World.
Yes.
So tell us how you came about that theme and how that theme goes through the programs.
Well, our libraries in Volusia County participate in the Collaborative Summer Library Program, which is a consortium of libraries across the country. And they decide on a theme every year for the summer. So the theme this year that was decided upon was Build a Better World. It's to unify library programs and make sure that we offer high quality, not only marketing for those programs, but high quality programs themselves. And as part of the system, we all try to focus our programs along that theme.
So you mentioned some reading programs in the beginning. Why is it so important for children to keep up with their reading over the summer break?
Studies have shown that children who consistently read throughout the summer and have access to books throughout the summer return to the school year in the fall without having lost many of the reading skills that they gained the previous school year. They test better in reading from the spring to the fall as if they've had consistent access to literature and reading programs. It can be as simple as 20 minutes a day, which is what many of our reading programs ask them to do. And it makes sure that they don't fall back.
Right. I know my children were sent, I have a rising first grader, I don't know if that's what you call it, kindergarten going to first, and their schools send home reading packets. And we go through it, almost every day, and you can see the difference just by practicing reading, how that really helps your child to develop and keep going with that.
It also offers them an opportunity in the summer to focus on reading for pleasure, especially with the teens. They're required to read so many specific titles during the school year that they kind of can lose track of what it is they just want to read and develop a love of reading simply for the act.
Sure.
And it's an opportunity to engage them in different genres and things that they wouldn't necessarily have access to over the school year.
So reading is one of the programs that you emphasize, but then you also have a lot of fun things that are going on. You have movies, there's some guest speakers that come in, there's games. So tell us a little bit about those.
Absolutely. We invite performers and other presenters in through the summer. We have magicians, African drumming, science. We are having talks on the history of Timucua and recycling, creatures, Gatorland is coming. We try to get the community access to as many different educational and fun things as we can.
Yeah, I was looking at the brochure the other day. Actually, one of my friends had it with her, and she visits the library all the time. And there's just so many programs on there. And one of them I noticed was a story time, maybe with the Volusia County Sheriff's Office and some other police agencies that are going to do a story time at one of the libraries.
Yep, Stories with a Cop. It's not only a partnership with the police and sheriff's departments that builds really good, strong relationships not only between the library and the police officers, but with the community and the police officers. And it's a wonderful thing, and it's been really well accepted and responded to.
A lot of kids love to do crafts, so I'm sure that part of your programming this summer includes crafts.
Absolutely. We've done everything from making cardboard binoculars, painting flower pots. At the Deltona Library, we just invited children in to make little rocking chairs out of clothespins, and they all went home with a fuzzy friend. It was a lot of fun.
Is there anything to do with painting rocks? Is that on the agenda at all?
I believe some libraries are doing that. Yes, it's a big trend in Volusia County. We're finding them everywhere, so why not?
Yeah, it's a fun activity to do with. I started doing it with my kids, and then you go to a park and you find a rock, you take it, you leave a rock. So yeah, we like the rock painting. So one of the programs is Mad Science.
Yes.
So what is Mad Science?
Mad Science is a group of very creative people out of Orlando who try to engage children in STEM with a lot of fun. This year, they're focused, because of the theme, Build a Better World, they're going to be building a better world with scientists who are trapped on a deserted island. And they engage the kids into helping them survive on this imaginary island. And they're always very entertaining and very engaging and very educational.
So there's something really for every age group, from the young children, from the teenagers, and even if there's not a specific program that they're in, there's got to be something for everybody, but people can show up at the library really anytime and find something to do. You have so many activities going on, even when you don't have a special summer library program.
Yes, we welcome the community in at any time. We can enjoy our books. We have computers for you to use, families, children. There's always a puzzle or a coloring sheet to be done, and it's just a nice, friendly environment to encourage not only the love of the library, but the love of learning and bonding with your family in a very safe and happy way.
And I know even during the regular school year, the libraries really are a safe haven for a number of students who may not have a place to go after school in between the time that parents are home. Talk a little bit about how the staff really keeps the children involved and safe during every time of the year.
Well, certainly we have, I know at the Deltona Library we have 2 schools that are within immediate vicinity of us, and we see their children come in after school to wait for their parents to pick them up. We offer daily programming during the after school hours, anything from crafting and STEM and the Crazy Eights Math Club and programs for teens. We'll be starting a new kind of Adulting 101 for our high schoolers in the fall, and it just gives them a place that they know they're always welcome. A place to engage in some creative aspects and kind of let loose on their creativity, and their parents will know they're there and as safe as we can make them. Now, granted, we have limited capabilities as far as, childcare.
Right.
But it is a place, it's a safe place. We like to think of the library as that third space or second home,
So when does this special summer program end?
It varies among the branches, as we all start at slightly different times due to other programming issues, but generally by the end of July, the summer program is over because we have time to kind of regroup and get ready for our school year programming in August. As soon as school starts, we start to.
And people, when they want to find out more, we have the brochure online, so they can go to volusialibrary.org and see the summer library program and click on that, or they can visit any of the branches and pick up a printed brochure that lists out all of the different programs. It lists by branch.
Yes.
So if you have a particular library that you're interested, you can just go to that one, or you can just peruse the whole thing, because a lot of the branches are offering a lot of different programs, and so just try a different library out maybe and experience something new.
Absolutely. Why not see the rest of the county?
Right. Anything else you want to add about the library programs?
I think we've covered it pretty well. We're very excited about this year. We think it's a wonderful theme, a very important theme during our time, and we just want to welcome everyone to the library and meet us and enjoy our space.
All right. Well, Mary Whiting, librarian at the Deltona Regional Library, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Amber, back to you.
Thanks, Joanne, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Osmond, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.